Hello. Good morning. I am Janetta Cravens, the founder and CEO of CoSpire Consulting. We work with nonprofit organizations, government agencies, and associations, primarily with the executive directors and their board of directors. But I want to introduce you today to somebody that I met in the most ordinary of circumstances. Her name is Debbie Thompson, and she's a flight attendant with SkyWest Airlines with over 14 years of experience. And I have to tell you that what she did in the first 30 seconds of a flight is something that I really haven't been able to stop thinking about. When I boarded, Debbie greeted me by name. Like it wasn't my first name, she used my last name, but she greeted me by my name before I had even said a single word, and I certainly hadn't introduced myself yet. And really something shifted in me in that moment that I didn't fully understand until I sat down. It wasn't just like this pleasant experience and sort of a surprising experience. It was a dignifying experience. She had done something that most leaders that I work with, like people who run organizations, who sit on boards and who manage teams, she did something that leaders rarely do intentionally. And that is she made me feel like my presence mattered. So that's what this conversation is about. It's about looking at customer service not as a system, but but as human presence, as as a practice, as a discipline. And what the nonprofit sector might learn from a woman who has figured out something that most leadership training never really fully captures. So, Debbie, I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for taking the time to let me interview you and get to be deeper into what you do and into your practice. So, I want to start right there, right at the door of the plane. When you greet a passenger by name before they have said a word or sat down even, like what are you trying to give them in that initial moment?
Thank you, Janetta. I appreciate this opportunity. One, when the hubbub and everybody's so busy, one, I'm acknowledging you. You may or may not hear me, and trying to lay the foundation so that when you're on the plane or any event that you're at, I'm creating a moment. I'm creating experience, and I want it to last so that it warms your heart and it's an authentic moment in that present because we're all so busy.
Hmm.
And it just kind of makes you step back a little bit. And I think that's what it did for you. Just took you by surprise because most of us are not acknowledged. And that's what I want to do is to acknowledge you in a timely manner.
I think that's really beautiful. How do you go about doing that? What do you have to do in order to be so ready for that first moment when you meet someone?
Well, on my planes, we're super busy. And I usually have 12 people that's in my cabin, but I'm also responsible for the entire cabin to assist the other person. I am actually preparing sometimes the night before or whenever I can get the list so I can see where everybody's seated. I may not memorize your names at that moment, but I'm just kind of giving an idea. And as much time as I can have before then, I'm starting to memorize your names, but I'm
Mm,
also doing everything I need to do for my job.
mm,
How can I keep that
mm.
each person organized to where they're sitting? And I don't know who you are yet. So all I have is a name. So then once I get a face, I also like to like surprise and delight. And
Mm,
that's what I would say what I do is when I give a little brief intro and I'm welcoming you, I kind of give you a rundown where things are located, maybe a flight time, and then just sets another tone. And whether or not
mm,
you want to accept that, I get it. We're all so busy and
mm.
things come heads down. But if I can just take a few seconds and let you know that, thank you. I see you. I acknowledge you. I want to
Yeah.
set the tone and I want to anticipate and also be your personal concierge.
Yeah.
Give you what you want or anticipate something maybe you didn't even know you needed that day. So
Mm.
I'm this whole big bubble.
Yeah.
And
I
you,
mean, it really was for me. Like you really captured, like we are literally in transition. I mean, talk about being busy. Like as a passenger, we are literally moving between moments, right? And you stepped in but I'm hearing you use words like meaning making and experience providing and surprise and delight. Like those are unusual words to associate with caring for a person in a transactional type moment. So what I hear you describing is something that goes well beyond like just a job function. Like you are, and I think that's exactly the tension that I see around the organizations that I work with all the time. Like we get very focused on like the execution and the tasks of the job, and we forget that there is something far more fundamental underneath that, which I think really brings me to my next question. So most people define customer service as like sort of in efficiency terms, right? How can I do this thing the quickest or the best? How can I get you the right thing to the right person at the right time? How do you define customer service? How do you see it?
I define customer service, it is a service, one, in a way, but how does that service relate to you? Has
Hmm.
related to me. I just want everyone who is in my bubble, in my circle, for a moment, if it takes them and gives them an escape
Hmm.
and just sets them back to know that you are valuable and I'm going to care for you, whatever I can do. But it's having the genuineness of sympathy, compassion. Sometimes I feel like I'm a lot of different people with a lot of different hats, and I'm able to touch that person. And I'm going to go back to it's being hospitable and caring. And I think that's sometimes what we need in customer service is someone just to say, I see you and I want to care for you, whatever I can do. I also have a hospitality background, so I'm constantly always shifting with that as well.
I think I really love that. I love that you're so in the moment that you're really thinking about what that other person needs, which is a very pure definition of hospitality. Really, how do we be receptive, hospitable to that person? And I think what you're describing it's certainly not a script that you're following, and it's not a training method. It comes from something much deeper in you. And I'm curious about two things in that deeper experience from you. Like, first, how do you find the energy for that? And I'm asking because I think a lot of the nonprofit leaders that I work with, like, we have to care a lot and we have to care for a lot of different people, sometimes in very challenging circumstances. And we have a thing in our sector called compassion fatigue. So, how do you do it in such a way that doesn't just wear you out? And where does that approach come from? Like, were you taught that? Was it something you developed on your own? How do you tap into that deeper place that allows you to do this day after day?
Wow, that's really, I think is deep in a way that maybe that could be part two. Part
We
one
can
is,
spend some real time on that. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, we'll
Yeah.
have a segment part two on that.
Okay.
I would say for me is from my personal backgrounds and obstacles and challenges and life skills, I believe that from where my parents came, from where I came, and to where I'm in this country, I always just want to strive to be better. And if it makes somebody else better,
Hmm.
empowerment. But it's also, I care so deeply. I want to just, I just want to care. I just care so much for them to do whatever it is I can do to offload, lessen their load,
Hmm.
just be there for them, try to
Um,
put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Because for me, what I do is not I don't think of it as a job. I have been blessed to be there for you however you need me
Hmm.
and interact. And I'm sorry, I forgot the second question.
No, it's okay. I mean, what I'm hearing you describe is you have to stay in touch with your own humanity. your own experience, your own story. You and I have talked a little bit more, so I know a little bit about what some of that story is. And yes, that definitely could be a part two to this conversation. But it's like I can't give you compassion if I don't remember that I also needed compassion. I can't give you a moment if I don't also remember that sometimes I've needed moments in my life where someone has cared for me. Um, and it feels like there's a tethering that has to happen in order for you to show up like that on a regular basis. Like staying and true to who you are and to your own experience as
Yeah,
well.
Janetta, I do. I truly love what I do and
Mm,
love the all the moments I get to spend, and that's really what I'm trying to do is create experiences. And I've had various people reach out to me. They had an experience that may have not been as happy.
mm,
I was there to give them some light, and that brings me great joy. For me, I'm a giver. And if I
mhm.
can give you light, if I can give you a hug, if I can just make your day so you come back. For example, yesterday, passenger walks on board. He goes, I knew it was you because we were boarding early. And I have flown him before from the same city pairing.
Okay.
So he knew when he heard the PA, he goes, that's Debbie.
He'd flown with you before.
Yes.
So it's like compassion, but also accountability, right? Like we're also going to do this well too.
But
Yeah.
they also know that when they have flown with me repeat times,
Yeah.
that I'm going to do my best to get them early or on time within my controls.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I want to tie into that because I think what you're describing, this kind of quality of intentional presence, like really staying connected to people, making meaning, making moments with them, like that intentional presence is exactly what I think is missing in a lot of boardrooms and, quite frankly, leadership meetings. Like we sit in rooms together, but we never really see each other. We never really are connected to each other. So, my final question is kind of on behalf of every executive director and board chair and team leader that is going to watch this. What do you think that leaders of organizations that, people who are managing teams, managing boards, leading boards, or even community leaders, what do you think that they could learn from the way that you work?
I believe as each individual, if we just stop for just a moment and take a breath,
Mm,
go around. And it's in those moments, not everything has to be a grand moment. I, I guess, live by the philosophy of little things matter and have a greater impact. You can touch so many more people because in this moment for me, I'm quantity, but I also believe in quality. And I've tailored for each person, not even knowing who they are, but to go back to, I've acknowledged you. And we all just want to be acknowledged. And customer service is also about being acknowledged in a timely manner. But
mm,
customer service is being authentic
mm,
and creating experiences that are memorable till they come back. So when they do, they remember.
mm,
It's not always the little thing that happens all the time, but little things can be that one moment that breaks the person to go right or left, happy or sad.
mm. That's right. Thank you for saying that. That's so well noted. I mean, Debbie, thank you genuinely. I mean, what you've shared here is a reminder that the most powerful leadership tool isn't a strategic plan or a governance framework. It is literally the decision to acknowledge the person in front of you.
Thank you so much, Janetta. This was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So I'm Jeanetta Cravens. I'm with Coastfire Consulting. You can find us at coastfireconsulting.com. And if this conversation has sparked something in you, I would genuinely love to hear about it. Take care.
Thank you.